Good evening and welcome to the European Athletics coverage of this fantastically beautifully set competition here in France this evening. Perche des Alpes is a pole vault only competition where we will see both male and female competitors compete here this evening in this beautiful location. We are seeing more and more of these event-specific competitions pop up over the last 5 to 10 years, and this is absolutely stunning. Why would you not want to pole vault in the shadow of the Alps? Tonight we are going to see some brilliant pole vaulters. The men's field in particular is absolutely stacked with Commonwealth champions, European, World, Olympic medalists. The women's field is more of a domestic French field, but still has the likes of Margot Chevre, who has jumped 470 and been to the Olympic Games and World Championships. They are still setting the scene for this evening. It looks like they are just calibrating the bars, and then we will look to introduce the athletes. This competition really is still in its infancy. It has only been held a handful of times, but the results have been absolutely fabulous. Last year, Emmanuel Corrales, the Olympic and World silver medalist, won with a height of 5'82", and the year before that, home favourite Thibaut Collet jumped his personal best of 5'95", and obviously so close to that 6 metre mark that everyone that's a male pole vaulter wants to hit. But the nice thing about that is his family record, his family personal best is 5'94", so by breaking that PB himself, but he also broke the family record, which was incredibly special. Both Mathieu and Thibaut Collet are in the men's field this evening, and I'm pretty sure the father who held that record before Thibaut is there coaching and helping. Height progressions for both these competitions this evening. The men's pole vault competition will start at a height of 5'40" and then go up in 10s all the way to 5'80" and then break to 8, so it'll go 5'88", 5'96", as that is the meeting record. The meeting record is Thibaut Collet's 2 years ago, the 5'95", and then it'll go to 6'01". The women's, it'll go 3'90", 4'10", 4'25", 435, 445, then break to 5s and go 50, 55 and 60. The meet record for the women's is 4 metres 32, which was set last year. The men's competition is a World Continental Silver, which means there are some great points up for grabs for that world ranking. The women's, being mainly a domestic competition, is a Category F competition. Over the recent years, the level at which a competition is rated has become more and more important because, of course, to qualify for the likes of the World Championships, you now have to, if you can't get the qualification mark outright, you have to be ranked. So putting in your diary competitions with high points is very important. So this is a great competition for the men, being World Continental Silver. Looks like both the bars are set, ready for the competition to start. The men's starting height, as I mentioned, would be 5'40", and the women's will be 3'90". The competition will run with a female competitor taking a jump, then a male, and they will alternate. So we'll hopefully get a glimpse of every single athlete taking their attempts this evening. I think we are about to introduce the athletes to the crowd and to us. We are just thanking the officials for their hard work, and obviously a lot of these competitions wouldn't go on if it wasn't for the officials, which are volunteers. None of them get paid to do any of these competitions. Sport would literally fold if it wasn't for them. Looks like the conditions are good. Not too sunny or hot, and looks like from the windsock in the far left-hand corner of our screen, it looks like it's a following wind, which is really, really important for pole vaulters. You absolutely don't want a headwind, and you absolutely don't want a crosswind. The best wind is either none or a tailwind. It looks like they've got a favourable wind this evening, which just makes the competition more exciting. It means their athletes are going to be more comfortable, they're going to be able to compete to a better level, and hopefully we'll see some really good results. Like I say, we've had some amazing results from the last 2 years, particularly on the men's side. It was only a few days ago that a lot of these men competed in the Paris Diamond League. Obviously, being in the same country, they could just get a car over. That's Kurt Marshall talking to Sergei Bubka, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously one of the best pole vaulters of all time. That is Jean Galfion, one of the best French vaulters of all time. Renaud being the obvious clear favourite, and then Jean Galfion, multiple 6 metre jumps. Legend of French pole vault. Great to see so many young faces in the crowd. France really do have such a rich history in pole vault, particularly on the men's side. You've obviously got Jean Galfion, many more, Renaud, and they just seemed to churn out 596 metre jumpers. They have so many different opportunities for pole vaulters in their country, which shows you put the opportunities on, then the pole vaulters do follow. We are introducing the athletes now. So that is Leah Maubury of France. They are actually, all the female athletes are French, apart from one which is Italian. She's a young French pole vaulter with a great personal best of 4:30. She's still very young. First one to be introduced on the men's side is Mathieu Collet, one of the Collet brothers. He's the older brother of Thibaut Collet. He's a multiple French championship medalist, and he's got a personal best of 5:75 and the season's best of that. I know he's had that personal best for quite a few years. He always seems to equal it. Will today be the day he breaks it? Back on the women's side, from France again, is Louise Boulon. She's had a bit of a breakthrough this year with a personal best of 4:36. She had a great indoor season where she jumped that personal best. Next up is Isma Sawane, who is actually part of the collegiate system in America. He's a very young athlete, goes to university over there. He is French, but studies out in the States. He's got a personal best of 5:78. The only Italian athlete in this field is Great Nachi. She's European under 20 and under 23 medalist. Personal best of 4:45. Next up from Portugal is Pedro Buarro, Paris 2024 Olympian, personal best of 5:82. PB of 4:45 has Emma Brentel, another French athlete. She's a senior athlete and has competed for France on a couple of occasions. Next up is the 2021 French national champion and Olympian and the former French junior record holder Ethan Cormont. PB of 5:82 and a season's best of 5:80, so clearly in great form. Alban Dordan, another person with a personal best of 4:46, season's best 4:45. I think it's always good to see how the athletes are in form when their season's best and personal best are either the same or very close. It shows that they're like clearly in great form. Bodes well for this competition. Next up is Curtis Marshall, the two-time World Championships bronze medalist back in Budapest in 2023 and in Tokyo in 2025. He is the Commonwealth champion and has cleared 6 metres this year for the first time. Won a couple of Diamond Leagues recently in Stockholm and Oslo. He's having a great season. Next up is Nair Couvin. PB of 5:54 and also a season's best. She's jumped that recently in the last couple of weeks. Had a bit of a breakthrough. She is still under 23. Still on the younger side. Zach Bradford, another pole vault who has jumped 6 metres for the first time this year. Did it indoors a couple of times. He's from the USA. Last female to be introduced is Margot Chevrier. We're introducing Thibaut Collet now, the French champion, the European Games bronze medalist of 2023. He is the guy who broke his personal best and family record here a couple of years ago in 2024. His father, Philippe Collet, used to be the French record holder. This is Margot Chevrier, the last female in the field. She has a personal best of 4:71, but unfortunately injured her ankle a couple of years ago, meaning that she missed out on that home Olympics, which was so sad to see, but she is making her way back. She jumped 4:40 the other week. Great to see her back. Last but not least is Chris Nielsen, also from the USA. He's the Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo 2020. He's the multiple World Championship silver medalist. He is the best ranked in this field with a personal best of 6:05. He's consistently over the last 10 years been ranked in the top 10 in the world, always challenging for those medals, consistently on the circuit. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, Jean Galfion. Olympic champion from Atlanta in 1996. World Championship bronze medalist in Gothenburg in 1995. Really is a legend in the sport, but particularly in French athletics and French pole vault. We're going to introduce now Philippe Collet, as I mentioned, the former French record holder. Sergei Bubka, 35 times he broke the world record. Olympic champion, world medalist, European medalist, you name it, he's done it. Before Mondo came along, he was the greatest of all time. I'm sure such an honour for a lot of these athletes to be in the presence of Sergei Bubka. Nice to see him coming and supporting a meet like this. In terms of the men's field, these are the two that will be going head to head today alongside Thibaut Collet. We'll expect both of these men to be attempting 590 plus. Both of them recently jumping over that 590 mark. Competition is about to get underway and the women's bar will be starting at 390 and the men's at 540. For those that haven't really tuned into pole vault before, every athlete will get 3 attempts at every bar, and I did read out the height progressions, so they're set before by the officials, and it is up to the athlete when and where they enter the competition. It might be that if you feel particularly confident today and the height progressions are a bit too low, you might start a little bit higher, then you can skip any bar at any point, but you are only allowed 3 attempts. 3 consecutive fails at 1 bar means you exit the competition. As we see the start list for the women's up on our screen. Boulon, Nachi, Morberry, Brentel, Corvin, Dordain and Chevrier. And that will be the order in which they jump. Just having an interview, I think, from Philippe Collet, Jean Galfion and Sergei Bubka to this marvellous crowd as we see the men's jumping order now. So it will go the jumping order will be Portugal's Buaro, followed by Sawane, followed by Collet, Matthews, followed by Cormont, then Bradford, then Nielsen, then Marshall, then ending with Thibaut Collet. This particular facility actually has a pole vault box at either end, so I'm pretty sure the meet organiser would have checked the wind a couple of days out and made sure the way in which the athletes were jumping was with the wind. Not many facilities have that option, but it's advantageous when they do. Athletes just waiting patiently for the competition to start. Okay, I can see athletes' names and heights up on the board, so it looks like this competition is about to get going. Looks like Boiro is going to be up first on the men's, attempting that opening bar of 540. And Louise Boulon will be the first female athlete to attempt 390. Here we see Portugal's Boiro on the runway ready to get this competition started. Here we go. The competition is finally underway. Can Boiro clear his opening bar of the first time of asking? Yes, he can. Very, very easy. What you would expect to see from an opening bar effort. Very, very easy. Sometimes it could have been 2-3 hours since these men and women started their warm-up. You know, we've just seen a long introduction and waiting around, and it's sometimes hard that very first time going down the runway to replicate it, but he did a marvellous job, made it look very, very easy. Boulon for her attempt at 390, her opening bar. Can she make easy work of it? No. Just a little bail there. She knew in her mind, no, something didn't feel right, something didn't feel off. And just like I say, a lot of these athletes have been sat around waiting for a while. Sometimes you don't warm up enough. Sometimes that kind of wait around can really throw you, and you need to get your legs turning again. But she'll have another 2 attempts, but that just didn't look like she rolled the pole over very well at all. We've got Isma Sawene up for his first attempt at 540. The collegiate athlete. Very nice. Big blow through. That looked very, very nice. But as you see, he just completely takes the bar off on the way up. If we see a side-on angle of that, you'll just see how deep and how far he lands in the pit. That says to me the intensity of the competition has ramped up, and the pole is too small now. You can see there, when an athlete lands that deep into the pit, it's often indicative of the pole's too soft. Greignacci of Italy. PB of 445, so you would think 390 wouldn't challenge her. You never really know what's going on behind the scenes. Very powerful run. Very, very nice clearance, a little bit scrappy. See how right she goes and lands in that pit. She almost just rolls right off the pit. But the reason why some athletes come in particularly low is to get a feel for it. And, you know, the track's different, the box is different, the poles are reacting different on a different day. And that was a nice jump. I'd like to see her land a bit deeper in the pit. I'd like to see her land in the middle of the pit, should I say. Ethan Cormont now up. 540. Very, very strong and speedy athlete. Very nice. Very, very easy. He has very high turnover on the runway, builds speed with short strides. But he has a very, very nice tall takeoff. You can see there, tall at takeoff. Very easy. First time clearance of 540. Leah Mowbray back on the female runway. Her first attempt at 390. Not to be for her. The run looked really nice. The run looked nice and strong and powerful. Just a little disconnected. You can just see there's a pause in the middle of the jump, like she almost looked at the bar and waited to see whether she was in. Can't really afford to do that in pole vault. You need to just commit to the jump and swing. Zach Bradford now. Choosing to come in at a conservative 540. Some athletes decide to come in a lot lower, even though their season's best higher. And that is what we call a run through. Something must have felt off for him. Maybe felt too far, too close. Sometimes there's a signal in your brain as a pole vaulter that just says, no, something's not feeling right. And that is what just happened to Zach. We are back round now on the female runway to second attempts, and Louise Boulon and Leah Mowbray will come in for their second attempt at 390. Pretty sure this bar shouldn't really be troubling either of them. Just get into the groove of it. Yeah, there we go. Another person. Oof. Second person landing fairly right. She almost landed off the pit. Bit low into takeoff, and she wasn't really connected with the pole, and I wonder whether that's why she was going right. It just felt like the pole was dictating where she was going. Chris Nielsen up for his 540 opening bar. He likes to take lots of jumps in a competition. He isn't someone who likes to open high. He likes to open very low and build his way through the competition, and wow, what a jump. He was so far over that bar. The kind of jump you would expect from someone who is in 590, 6 metre shape. If we just look at the height on that, it's crazy. Very nice jump. Mulberry for her second attempt at 390. She is only young. She has a personal best of 430, and that was so much better, so much better. You see her landing in the middle of the pit, going straight down the middle. That was so much tidier and so much nicer. You see there, it's just more fluid and smooth. She wasn't looking at the bar as much. We're round on the men's pit for second attempts. Sawane, very far takeoff. Very far takeoff, and the clearance, that is what he wants. He doesn't look terribly happy. Something isn't clearly feeling right for him, but that was a very nice jump. Nice, easy clearance. The bar is being put up to the next height on the women's side, as we see Zach Bradford come back for his second attempt. Will he actually attempt to vault this time, or will we see another run through? No, unfortunately. Sometimes pole vault is a very dangerous and scary event. Sometimes you could just have a crash in training, or you could just have a mental block for whatever reason. And sometimes, you know, athletes in the pole vault seem to get this more frequently than other events in athletics, just because of how, you know, scary and dangerous it can be. So I hope that Zach can come back and put together another jump for his third attempt. It's nothing, you don't really like to see that, other pole vaulters struggling. The bar is up to 410 on the women's side, and I imagine most of the other women will enter at this height. You can see the athletes preparing the pole there. They use different types of chalk or sticky glue, whatever their preference is on their grip that makes them feel secure. Boulon for her first attempt at 410. Let's hope she lands more in the middle of the pit now. That looked better to me. That looked better. Look, she lands in the middle. She just needs to swing a little faster. I feel like once she hits the takeoff, there's a lag between her body being swinging upside down as quickly as possible. It just needs to get, just needs to get her hips a bit higher in the jump. That would make all the difference. They just seem to lag behind a little bit. Third attempt for Zach Bradford coming up. Come on, Zach. Zach needs to clear this to stay in the competition, otherwise he makes a swift exit from the competition. He did just jump really, really well in Paris, so I don't know whether something just feels off for him today. Paris was only 48 hours ago, so he might be tired, no, another run through. That is unfortunate, but he is out of the competition. You never know, he might have picked up a little niggle in Paris, or clearly something was off for him today. He is out of the competition. Next up is Great Nachi. She's been clean so far. Can she clear 4:10 on her first time of asking? Very tall and powerful athlete. Very beautiful jump compared to that first jump at 390. It was quite scraggly and scrappy, and that was so much nicer. Brilliant jump. Everything just seemed a bit tidy. You see how tall she's at takeoff, and the timing of her with the pole, so much better, and loads of clearance on that bar. All right, we are at the next height in this men's pole vault competition, and this will be Mathieu Collet. The bar is at 550. It will go up in 10s to 580, and then it will break, and this is Mathieu Collet entering the competition. There is only 7 men now left in the competition, and can Mathieu Collet clear this? Yes, no, very, very high over that. And unlike what we saw with Chris Nielsen, Mathieu Collet is a very high opener. Like, his season's best is only 25 centimetres higher than this. So in relative terms, that's quite a high opening bar, but it all is all just about preference. Some people run out of gas early, some people don't have a lot of energy, so they need to enter higher. Whereas you've got people like your Chris Nielsen's that like to do multiple jumps, and he just got his high point in completely the wrong place. The high point was too far in front of the bar, so he just needs a bit more intensity, a bit more oomph to get that pole rolling a bit more. This is Leah Mowbray. 1 clear so far at 4:10. We saw a really nice second time clearance from Leah Mowbray. Not a bad attempt, just maybe not quite high enough in the air. Yeah, she just flagged out and kind of crashed through the bar. I'd like to see a little bit more patience in her swing and being upside down. Next up for his first attempt and in entering the competition is Kurt Marshall at 550. I think it looks like quite a few men have passed. This is Kurt Marshall's opener at 550. Can he make it easy? Yes, he can. Very, very easy and smooth. Super, super easy. Boiro, Cormont, Nielsen, Sawane, all passing 550. Next up is Emma Brentle, entering the competition at 4:10. Only one woman clear at this yet. We've had failures from Boulon and Mowbray. entering the competition here at this 410. Not a bad clearance. Slightly right, as we've seen quite a few of the athletes do here today. Quite a wide grip, makes it hard to swing if you're jumping on a wide grip. Makes it hard to swing and get your hips upside down. But nonetheless, a clearance. Okay, Thibaut Collet has passed. So we will see second attempt from Mathieu Collet. This is his opening bar. This is him entering the competition, so he needs to clear this to register any mark. And he was plenty high enough over the bar. He just needed to get that high point in the right place. And can he put a bit more on it? That looks better. Nice. So much better. Yeah, beautiful jump. Nice. So the bar on the men's side will go up to 560 now. As we see this beautiful jump, both of the Collet boys have really nice run and takeoff, very tall at takeoff. They're very, very tidy on the pole. Naya Kovan up next on the female side for her attempt at 410. She's got a personal best and season's best of 4:54, so she's clearly in good shape. First attempt at 410. Nice and easy. Very nice and easy. A little bit close at takeoff maybe. Almost knocks it off with the side of a hip, but a nice easy clearance. She lands very deep into the pit. So there is lots of scope to change up onto a different pole as the bar is set at 560. First up will be Bureau. Season's best of 572 and a PB of 582. All the men in this field have a PB close to 580 or above, which is very, very impressive. His first attempt clearance at 540 was very beautiful, very nice, very easy, very strong running. That was nice. Potentially was a little bit far at takeoff is what I saw. Kind of dropped on the pole a little bit and had to negotiate the jump, but actually made it work. Something that you need to have in your arsenal as a pole vaulter is you can't replicate the same jump over and over. There's so many variables and so many different things that can go on. Is you need to be able to adapt your jump in a millisecond, and that kind of looked like that is what happened. But brilliant clearance, clean card for him. This is Dordain, entering at 410. And that's a run through, unfortunately. Only one woman left to go and enter the competition, and that's Margot Chevrier. Something must have fell off her then. Isma Sawene for his first attempt at 60. he join Boireau. That was nice. Oh, did it stay up? Very, very lucky. Gave it a little tickle with his chest. Maybe a little bit of complacency there. Nice. Very speedy athlete, quite low. Drops onto the pole and loads that pole quite low at takeoff. Just gives it a right good touch with his chest, but it does stay on. That's all that matters. As long as that bar stays on the peg and doesn't jump up and land up onto the peg, it is allowed. As we are back round to second attempts, and this is Boulogne. Can she get over this on her second? No. Just dropping on the pole. What you want to see is you jump up at takeoff. You know, it's not the high jump, it's not the long jump, but you do still have to jump up at takeoff and help the pole. It just looks like when she hits the takeoff, she's sagging on it and almost asking the pole to do too much work. I'd like to see her jump up and like work with the pole. It just makes it so much harder to swing if you're basically sagging on the pole and relying on it to get you over the bar. Looks like Margot Chevrier passed this bar. She is someone that likes to come in high. She has always been someone who likes to come in particularly high. As we see Ethan Cormont here, bar at 560. These competitions are moving swiftly now. No, a bail. Wonder whether he's changed up a pole. As the comp goes on, the higher the bar gets, athletes will want to push the poles and jump onto stiffer poles, so that the stiffer the pole, the higher you can jump. And it is just a balance with, can you get the pole in versus confidence. Leah Marbury for her second attempt at 410. That looked better. Oh, unfortunately it came down, but that did look better. Looks like she's getting close to the limit of this pole. I think she can still get this bar with this pole. She just needs to be a little bit tighter. We'll see here. Nice run, nice takeoff, much better in time with the pole. She just tickles it off. She's just cutting the jump short a little bit. She needs to stay patient and feet rise a little bit more. Chris Nielsen, 560. Such a professional, seasoned, competent athlete now. He must have done so many different variations of the jump, and that looked good. Very, very easy. He's clearly in great shape. Looked a little bit low at takeoff, but didn't really matter to him. Great jump. Hopefully we see a jump this time and not just a run through from Dordain. This is her opening bar, so she does need to clear this. Come on, Dordain. Yes. Oh, no. Similar to what we saw with Zach Bradford, it looks like something is going on. There's not a lot of confidence there. Struggling with something out there. It could really be like sometimes you go to places and your grip isn't working, or your calves are feeling tight, or your run's feeling off. Because pole vault has so many variables, the tiniest little thing can be off and it just throws your whole competition out of whack. As we see Thibaut Collet, 560 opening bar. Relatively high opening bar for him, but he's clearly feeling confident. crowd are getting behind him. He is the local star, the local favourite. Holds the meeting record here of 5.95, which is his personal best. So clearly loves this place to jump. Can he clear 5.60 his opening bar the first time of asking? Yes, he can. And that looked magnificent. That looked brilliant. What a jump. Hopefully that is a sign of what is to come for this rest of this competition, because that looked massive. Such a speedy athlete. And just rocks back straight away. Kind of like what I've been saying on the women's side, is as soon as you leave the ground, you need to rock back straight away and get upside down like a pencil. He does that brilliantly. We are round at third time attempts for Boulogne. She needs to clear this to stay in the competition, otherwise she is out. No. That is the end of her competition, and she will finish with a best of 3.90. Little bit disappointing when she has jumped so much higher this outdoor and indoor season. Just a little bit of a disconnect for her and the pole today. Just not in time together, working against each other. Ethan Cormont for his second time attempt at 5.60. I don't see many of the athletes waiting or looking at the wind tonight. It says to me that it is either non-existent or consistently behind them. Sometimes you can get competitions where the athletes are just looking at the windsock because they're waiting in their minute to get a good opportunity to run down. Oh, we are over to Leah Marbury for her third and final attempt at 4.10. That looked better. No. What a shame. Those last two attempts looked so much better. And that is her final jump of the competition, and she will end currently in fourth position with Boulogne at 4.90. Sorry, 3.90. That looks so much better, but no. Just potentially needs to work on turning slightly earlier, and that will possibly put 30-40 centimetres on that. Ethan Cormont, 5.60. So much acceleration into that box, and that stays on. Gives it a good touch, but it does stay on. The one thing that I really like about Ethan Cormont is you can see that every single stride he takes towards the box, he's getting faster and faster. He's not slowing down, he's not getting lower. Every single step he's getting faster and faster, and that is literally exactly what you want in a pole vault runway. Somewhat hard to follow this men's pole vault competition because there's a lot of swapping and changing and passing. So the bar will now go up to 5.70. Matthew Collet passed, Curtis Marshall passed. So they will be attempting 5.70. Oh, and this is third and final attempt for Dordan. That's better. And she clears it. After a run through and a bail, she clears 4.10. Brilliant. Hopefully that'll have settled the nerves a little bit. Give her a little bit of confidence, because it still looked a little bit hesitant, but she's in the competition. She is in the competition. The women's bar will now go up to 4.25. And the men's up to 5.70. Burao will be first up to attempt this 570 bar. It looks like Thibaut Collet has passed 570 and everyone else will attempt this bar. In terms of the women, we have four women left in who have cleared 410, and Margot Chevrier is yet to enter, so will be entering the competition at this bar of 425. Buaro up for his first attempt at 570. This is 2 centimetres shy of his season's best. So if he was to clear this, this would be good. Nope, not to be for his first attempt. Solid attempt. This is why our athletes get 3 in the pole vault. You collect information as you go along. First attempt there for Nachi, 425, quickly skipped over to that. Hopefully we'll get a replay so we can see exactly what went on, because that first attempt at 410 was beautiful. Nice attempt, just not much, just a little bit of a chest. Sawene now for his first attempt at 570. The jumps are coming thick and fast now. We're in the thick of the action. Nice jump, but not to be. Very, very tidy jumper, very tight lines. Very lovely jump. Just hits it with his chest. I think we're getting close to how high he's going in the air. You know, his personal best is 78, so we're talking 8 centimetres of his personal best. Brentel now up on the runway, 425. The world lead for the women's pole vault is 488 by Hannah Moll. And the men's world lead is Mondo Duplantis, 613. I don't think either of those will get broken today, but happy to be proven wrong. Brentel up on the runway for her first attempt at 425. No. Similar story to what I've seen all day really with these women, is they're just lagging a little bit behind the pole. The aim is to try and beat the pole and get upside down as soon as possible, so that when the pole recoils, it spits you up. Whereas a lot of the women, the pole's recoiling as they're halfway in the air, and it kind of spits them sideways. Mathieu Collet, PB 575, bar 570. He's very, very capable of clearing this after what I saw on that 550 attempt. Clearly in good shape. He just needs to do exactly the same. Don't change anything else. It was good enough to clear 570. Sometimes that's the hardest thing for athletes, is just do the same. Oh, no. Good jump. Might just need another one to get it cleared. Looks frustrated, needs to stay calm. Just maybe knocks it off with his shins. No, he brushes it up on the way up. Maybe push stands back a little bit, I would, even just 5. Corvin. First time clearance at 4:10. Can it be a first time at 4:25? No, not. Nice jump. Nice jump. Looked like she was high above it, but just looked like she came down on it a little bit. This bar is really causing some issues for these women. Nice jump, but yeah, just coming down on it a little bit. Maybe just needs a little bit more speed and power at that takeoff. Ethan Cormont, 570. Got a season's best of 580, so we know it's good for it. No. Similar to Mathieu Collet. Just brushes it off. When you start to get close to your season's best and your personal best, the margin for error is very, very small. So although he's jumped 580 this season, 570 is still a very high bar, and it's not to be taken lightly. The margin for error is very small. Just actually crashes through it quite a lot. Dordan. We saw her have a little bit of trouble at the bar before this, but then had a nice clearance at 4:10. Can she repeat that here? Yeah, she's got her into her groove, and that is nice. Nice jump. She's the first woman over the bar of 4:25. Sigh of relief. Nice jump. Nice jump. You can see the timing of it is slightly better than what we've been seeing today. Can Chris Nielsen keep his clean card? He's a very, very precise jumper. Once he's dialed in, he does the same jump every single time. And that is what we're seeing today. Same jump every time. Just cleared 570. First man over the bar of 570. So dialed. So dialed. Oof. And here we go, entering the competition, Margot Chevrier. So nice to see her back after that tragically horrible injury. You don't ever want to see someone break their ankle like that, but she's back. She's worked so hard to make it back to the sport, and here she is. Opening her competition at 4:25. She's so talented. A beautiful jump. Nice jump. I'm sure she'll be wanting to make her way back to that 470 mark, and that looks very promising. Very nice. Still gripping quite a long way down the pole, so maybe she's still trying to get her confidence back, but that looked good. Damien Dossevi, her coach, also a very good French pole vaulter in his time. Just one of a million. Kurt Marshall up next. He will be prepping for the Commonwealth Games that will take place in Glasgow. Pretty open for him. Not many competitors of his standard at the Commonwealth Games level. But that doesn't matter. He will want to go there and retain his title. asking for the crowd to get behind him. This is Kurt Marshall for his first attempt at 5m70. Only Christopher Nielsen yet to go over this height. Can he join? Yes, he can. Beautiful jump. He's someone that their swing and their rock back is just... no words can describe how good it is. You can just see how quick he inverts, and he's just upside down so fast. It just means he's got so much time and before the bar to negotiate around it, and beautiful jump. This is Archie. We're on second attempts now, and no, back to being a little bit scraggy. A little bit of mistiming with the pole, not getting on top of that pole, working against it. You can see there, the pole just starts to come back at her before she's got into a position, and basically just spits her out and throws her into the bar. Back round to second attempts on the men's side at this 570 bar. We'll have 4 men going for their second attempt. The first one being Boaro. Not a bad attempt on that first go. Can he just tweak it a little bit and get... That was nice. Oh, very close attempt. Very nice technician. Rock back straight away. Just knocked it off with the smallest of margins. Such a shame. I've seen bars been hit harder and stay on, probably in this competition. What a shame. That was a great jump. Potentially just bring his stance in a little bit. Sawane up next. Emma Brentle for her second attempt at 425. Only 2 women have cleared this so far. We have 3, and she's joined them. 3 women over 425. 2 more yet to clear. Such a better attempt. Just was so much higher in the pole. You can just see their hips are so much higher, which means she actually gets picked up and goes over the bar versus crashing her way through it. Isma Sawene. Eight centimetres shy of his PB is this bar. It would be such a far takeoff. I think that was too far. You could just see he was too far in the pit when he started his rock back that he decided to abort. I think for me that was too far to take away, to take off. Might be able to watch here. He just jumps in and then just, yeah, loses connection with the pole. Kova now next on the women's runway. Can she join the 3 others over this bar? Very unconventional way. Close to clearing it, but her and Nachi will have one final attempt. We've got 3 women clear, 2 women left yet to clear, and 2 women have exited the competition. Sounds like Mathieu Collet is up on the runway on the men's side. Like his brother, he is a home favourite. The crowd will want to see him get over this bar, and I do really feel like he is in 580 shape, so I would like to see him get over this so I could see him be attempting a brand new PB. Come on, Mathieu. Yeah! I think the thing with Mathieu and Thibaut Collet is they have so much height over the bar. Sometimes they hit it off with the shin, you know. The margin for error is so fine. So he's too far in front, he's too much in front of the bar. He needs to bring the stands in. His high point is in front. Third attempts now on this 425 bar, and this is great, Nachi. Can she clear it on third time of asking? Yes, she can. That looked good. Couple of scrappy attempts, and then a beautiful back to normal attempt. So much different to that last attempt where she just went crashing through the bar. She had so much, she was actually working with the pole. She got on top of it and it cast her up and over the bar, and you could just see how much height she has over that. That's 4 women now over 425 with 1 remaining. This 560 bar seems to be sorting out a few of these athletes, and this is Ethan Cormont's second time clearance of 570. Can he join Kurt Marshall and Chris Nielsen over the... No. I think he's changed up a pole. He's trying to get this bigger pole in. He obviously feels like he needed to change up a pole to clear this bar. But he just needs to be strong enough and confident enough to commit to it. Last attempt at 425 for Nea Couvin. Needs to clear this to stay in the competition. Can she go clear this third and final attempt? Yes, she can. Easy. Very, very easy. 5 women over this 425 bar. Beautiful jump. Seen a little bit of hit and miss pole vaulting today, and when it goes well, it looks beautiful. Nice. So different to her first 2 attempts. Right, we are round to third and final attempts for these men at this 570 bar. And we will have Boireau, followed by Sawanet, followed by Collet, followed by Cormont. But first, Pedro, Boireau. All of these men now need to clear these bars to stay in the competition, otherwise they are out. What can Boireau do? Can he clear it on his third time of asking? No. That's such a shame. That second time attempt was so good. So worth this 570 bar today, but that is him out of this competition, currently in equal third position. No. Just see how halfway through the jump he thinks, no, I've not quite got this right, and aborts the jump. The bar on the women's side has gone up to 4:35. There are 5 women left in this competition that is really, really heating up. I think all 5 of these women are capable of clearing this bar if they put together the jumps that we have seen today. And can Nachi clear? Yes, she can. Beautiful. She's got into her groove and got into her rhythm now. And that is a meeting record. It was 4:33 set last year. Who else can join Nachi? Beautiful jump. When she gets on top of the pole, when you see her hips are high in the jump, she's so much height over the bar. Third and final attempt for Isma Sawane. That looks better, no. Similar kind of story, too far, just moving too far under the bar. He exit the competition there with the best of 560 for the day. He's had a good day. Yeah, you can just see him abort the jump because he's like, I'm going to hit the bar off. Probably, like I say, such fine margins when you get close to your PB, and his PB is 8 centimeters away from this. Emma Brentel. Can she join Great Nachi over this new bar of 4:35? Not on that first attempt, she won't. Just a bit, yeah, you see there, she doesn't get her hips high enough in the jump. Potentially the pole stalling out a little bit as well. Last attempt for Mathieu Collet. Quite capable of clearing this. His 550 jump was massive. Just needs to get that high point in the right place. He needs to either bring his stands in, or he needs to give it an extra 2% on the runway and a bit more oomph at takeoff. Get that pole rolling in a bit better so that high point is over the bar instead of in front of it. Can Mathieu Collet clear this 570 bar? The crowd are willing him over. Come on! Yes! Brilliant jump. Brilliant jump. And that is good enough for 80, 100%. Brilliant jump. Gets everything spot on. Like I just said, the high point is in the perfect place. And he sails over. Beautiful jump. Oof. He did well to get his arm out of the way, but what a beautiful jump. Naya Couvin. Made light work of that last attempt at 4:25. She does the same jump again here. She will sail over this bar, kind of like Achi did. Can Naya Couvin join Nachi? Very, very capable. Beautiful last jump at her 4:25. Can she replicate it here? Yes, she can. Nachi and Couvin really found their groove through this competition. They've really built through it. Equals the meet record. Nice jump. You just watch her legs stay back, trying to keep her body away from the bar. That has worked wonders. That is a great jump, a great clearance. Ethan Cormont's the last man to jump at this 570 bar. Needs to clear this to stay in the competition. Can Ethan Cormont join Mathieu Collet, fellow Frenchman, over this bar? He's trying to be getting this pole in. Can he do it on this occasion? No. He can't, unfortunately. We have 4 men left in this pole vault competition now. We have Christopher Nielsen, Kurt Marshall and Mathieu Collet all clearing 570, and Thibaut Collet, who has passed 570, still in this competition. All 4 men will attempt 580, as we see Dardin over for her first attempt at 4:35. She's another athlete that has really built through this competition. Can she join? Yes, she can. This women's competition is coming alive in these latter stages. 3 women, 3 first-timer clearances. Just Margot Chevrier to attempt her first time, and then back to Emma Brentel for her second time attempt. The jumping is looking so much better from these women. They see their timing up with the pole so much better. Mathieu Collet will be the first man to attempt this 580 bar. He has only just took an attempt. Margot Chevrier now for her first attempt at 4:35. Can she join the other 3 women and clear this first time? No, run through. The run-up looked a little bit weird. Looked a little different. Something was off then for Margot. Mathieu Collet prepares for his first. This would be a PB for him. His PB of 575 has stood for so many years. It would be brilliant to see him break this today. Come on, Mathieu Collet. First time attempts at 580. Can he replicate the jump that he's just done at 570? He will have 3 attempts at this. This is a big bar for him. He might use the first one as a sighter. The crowd the crowd are willing him over this. Can Mathieu Collet break his personal best here with the bar of 580? Come on, Mathieu Collet. We all want to see it. Good attempt. Good attempt. A little bit far. I think he was a little bit far. I think sometimes when you get a bit excited, you turn your feet over a bit more, and actually the margins for where you want to take off with the pole vault are very small. You do want to take off within a 10 centimetre bandwidth. That just looked like it was a little bit further than what he has been. That can just mess a little bit with the timing. High point in front of the bar again. Emma Brentel, second attempt at 4 metres 35. We've seen 3 women go clear. 2 women left in to try and clear this bar, and no. Not a close attempt, really. No, the pole is running on her so much. You can see it's almost bolt upright when she tries to rock back. Chris Nielsen, 580. Not put a foot wrong in this competition so far. Can he do the same? Not on this one. Timing on that didn't look quite the same. No, you can see how he just kind of high point way too far in front of the bar. Margot Chevrier saw a run through on her first attempt. I think maybe something went a bit iffy with her run up. Hopefully put it right this attempt. Beautiful clearance of 425. She's very, very capable of jumping this bar. That looked better. That looked way better. Nice, yes. Perfect, yeah. Something iffy went on with her run, and I think she probably lost a few steps and then felt too far or too close, and that's why she ran through, whereas that looked like a really solid run up. She always kind of sags on the pole and pulls down on it, and that's kind of her unique style of how she loads the pole. It's not what most people do, but that is the good thing about pole vault, is you can have a very unique style and it still works for you. Kurt Marshall up next for his attempt at 580. We've had 2 fails at this bar. Can Kurt Marshall be the first one to clear? He's repping out a lot of competitions, but he's loving his pole vault at the minute, and that is a clearance. So dialed. So in his groove. Not putting a foot wrong. Very nice, very, very nice. working with his new coach here. Seems to be going really well. Travel the circuit together. Obviously he's a long way from home. So it's nice he gets to travel with someone he gets on with and trusts. We are on our third and final attempt at this 25 bar for Emma Brentel. We are going back to the men now with Thibaut Collet. He cleared 560, skipped 570. What can he do at 580? That 570 clearance was magnificent. Can he replicate that 560 jump here at 580? Because I do think that'll be good enough to clear this bar. Yes, he can. Beautiful. Lovely jump. Very, very nice. He's only done 2 jumps this whole day. He's got still have so much energy to attempt the next bar, which I think is 590. Third and final attempt for Emma over on the women's pit. Then the bar goes up to 445 for the women. Can Emma join the other 4? Not today. She finishes in 5th place with a height of 425. The next height will be 445 and 4 women will be attempting that. Similar to what we have over in the men with 4 men still left standing. Matthew Collet and Christopher Nielsen will want to join Kurt Marshall and Thibaut Collet over this 580 bar, sorry. Matthew Collet in particular, because this will be an outright personal best. Just watched his brother clear it. Will that motivate him? Will that spur him on? He had a very good attempt on that first attempt. Can he get closer? Just needs to have his takeoff in a little closer, I think. Can Matthew Collet clear this bar? Break his personal best in front of a home crowd? No, bail. What a shame. He will have a third and final attempt. And we will see Christopher Nielsen come up next. Over on the female pit, we have the bar at 445. We have Nachi, Couvin, Dordan and Chevrolet all going to be attempting this 445 bar. Equal PBs for 2 in this field, including Nachi. This would be an equal PB? No. The timing was all off, too far away, disconnected with the pole. Chris Nielsen. Not a bad attempt on that first attempt, just high point too far in front of the bar. No, and a bail, unfortunately. Hadn't put a foot wrong so far, and this 580 is really throwing a spanner in the works. The run looked a lot better that time. Potentially got caught a little bit close. Sometimes if you try and correct a mistake you make, you can overcorrect it, and that kind of looked like didn't have enough gas on the first run, so came up short. Tried too much on that one, maybe got caught close. So it is a fine balance, and this is Corvin. PB is 4:54. This is within her capabilities, and she has been looking good these last two attempts, last two bars. I think if she can replicate that jump we saw at 4:35, I think she will clear this, but no. This bar is getting higher for these women. You can see it's just starting to play on their minds a little bit. Not a bad attempt, but just kind of didn't believe it and gave up halfway through the jump. You can see with the legs all split. And we are round to the third and final attempts for Mathieu Collet and Chris Nielsen. Such an important bar for Mathieu Collet. Had such a good competition so far, but I know he will want this 580 bar. Now there are fewer athletes left in the competition. They will have more time in between jumps, and especially if you're doing consecutive jumps, you'll get more minutes. So it might be that we see a little bit more time in between the jumps as the athletes start to drop out. Just mentally preparing for this attempt. Such an important attempt. When you've gone through a full competition like this and you're at the pivotal end of it, you want to make the most of it. As we go to the women's competition, and it's Dordogne, this would be an equal PB for her. Can she be the first woman? No. You can just see when the bar starts to get higher, the confidence drops a little bit. They've never jumped this high before, or they're equal in the PB, and the doubt just starts to seep in. Mathieu Collet is ready to take his third and final attempt at this PB bar. What can Mathieu Collet do here? Can he clear it on his third attempt like he did with 570? What can he do? No, too far away. Too far away. That is unfortunate because he has looked so good today. Christopher Nielsen, the only man left to take his attempt to clear this 580 bar. Margot Chevrier over on the women's pit will take her first attempt at 4:45. Chris up next to take his attempt. Personal best there, 6:05. One of the best pole vaulters in history. Third and final attempt for Christopher Nielsen at this 580 bar. He needs to clear this to stay in the competition. Quite capable of doing this, has been having a great day so far. Just a little bit of a stumbling block at 5.8, but that looks better. Just comes down, unfortunately. So close. Not a bad day for Chris. Only 2 men remain for this 88 bar. Kurt Marshall and Thibaut Collet. Will both of them attempt 88 or will some of them pass? Margot Chevrier. Nobody is yet to clear 4:45. Can Margot Chevrier be the first woman? Possibly looking and waiting for the wind. Has the wind picked up? Off she goes. No one yet to clear this. That looks good. Yes, that is a season's best. And that looked very, very good, very comfortable. Nice jump from Margot Chevrier. Meeting record and season's best for her. Nice. So much height and wiggle room to play with. They will have the Europeans coming up, a lot of these athletes, so they will be wanting to secure points and marks for that championship. Here we go. The men's bar has gone up to 88. Looks like we're flitting over to the women's for second attempts at 45, and this is Nachi. Can she join Margot Chevrier? That first attempt wasn't good. No, bail. Bail on that second attempt. We are getting down to the business end of this pole vault competition now. We have 2 men remaining in the men's competition, both attempting 588. And we have 4 women in the women's competition, with only Margot Chevrier clear at 4:45. Kurt Marshall now, first attempt at 5.88. He has jumped 6 metres, but once the bar gets above 5.80, means business, not to be complacent. Oof. Very close attempt. Just touched it ever so slightly with his chest. But Kurt is so dialed, all of his jumps look exactly the same. So it just becomes a matter of the finest of finest margins that him and his coach will tweak, and to the layman's eye, it will look the same, and you won't know there's any different. And that looked like a good jump. It's just not high enough in the air. Couvin, second attempt, 4.45. Very capable of jumping this. Just needs to time one up. No, better attempt than her first. Better attempt than her first. This has kind of been the story we've seen today. She takes a few to warm up and then she nails a jump and it flies. Up next for his first attempt at 5.88, you can hear the cries from the crowd, is Thibaut. 2 jumps. He entered the competition at 5.60, cleared it first time. He then skipped to 5.80, cleared first time. So he has only taken 2 jumps in this entire competition. As we head back to the female competition, Dourdin. I think we are trying to even up these competitions now, so they are ending at a similar time. Dourdin, can she clear her second attempt at 4.45? No, she can't. So 3 women will take third attempts at this bar. Just not going high enough in the air, and high point significantly in front of the bar. Some of these athletes might have changed up the pole and they're pushing poles to try and get the height, but it is a fine balance as we go to Thibaut Collet. The crowd go wild. Can he clear 5.88? Perfect record so far, clearly in good shape. Can he clear this? Yeah, oof. Yes, he can. Beautiful, beautiful jump. I think he just touches it with his hand. Beautiful jump. He absolutely loves it here. He won back in 2024 with a PB of 95. He came second last year to Corrales. He absolutely loves it. Just brushes it. Ooh, very, very nice jump. The next bar for him will be 96, which will be a meeting record and a personal best. What will Kurt Marshall do now? Will he want to try and clear 88, or will he pass to 96? Back over to the women as we see 3 women all on their third attempts at this 4.45 bar. Can anyone join Margot Chevrier? Nachi of Italy, can she clear? No, unfortunately not. She ends the competition with a best of 4.35. Some beautiful jumping today, a little bit inconsistent at times. She can just become consistent with that beautiful jump of hers. I think she will see those bars come. Courvan up next on the runway, followed by Dordain. Can Courvan join her compatriot Margot Chevrolet over this bar? Looks very, very possible at times today, but a little bit like Nachi has been, a little bit inconsistent, and that is a run through to end the day and her competition. It looks like Curtis Marshall has passed on 5.88, and he is going to be attempting 5.96 along with Mathieu Collet. Unlike Thibaut Collet, Curtis Marshall will only get 2 attempts, while Thibaut will get all 3 as we go back to the women's. Dordain. Third and final attempt to stay in the competition. Can she clear, and can she join Margot at the next bar? Very nice, strong run up. Aye! Very, very close. Best attempt at that bar we've seen. She ends on 4.35. Very, very good attempt. Beautiful jump. Just hits it off on the way through with her arms. Doesn't get her chest out of the way. But that was a beaut. That'll give her confidence that she knows she's got that bar within her. Two men now. What are we going to see here tonight from these 2 men? Looks like Kurt Marshall's potentially moved up to a bigger pole. Thibaut Collet, an absolute blinder of an evening, clearing 60, 80, 88. All first time. Bar is at 5.96. The crowd are really getting behind these 2 men now. They appreciate how high this bar is and how close it is to that 6 metre mark, which Kurt Marshall has jumped, but Thibaut never has. What can we see here from Kurt Marshall? Bail. Bigger pole, definitely. Definitely changed up onto a bigger pole and a little bit of a twitchy jump. Sometimes when you change up onto a big pole, you just need to have one just to make sure it's okay. Margot Chevrier, the only female left on this vault runway. Bar at 450. This will be the highest she's jumped in quite a few years. It will do her the world of good, confidence-wise, but also in terms of European selection, to have this 450 mark under her belt. Can she clear this today? This would be massive for her after such a horrific injury. She just needs the confidence. Come on. That was a little bit of a confidence builder jump. You could just see she didn't quite believe it. She will have 2 more attempts. Just see there the little bit of hesitation when she's looking at the bar. You don't want to look at the bar if you're an athlete. If you're looking at the bar, it means you're not dropping your shoulders. It means you're not rocking back, and then everything is then delayed. So she just needs to throw her head back, throw her shoulders back, and believe that she's safe. But we can forgive her for doing that after the crash that she had. Thibaut Collet, first attempt, 596 PB. He's had a clean record so far. Can he clear this first time? Wouldn't that be magnificent? Clearly in amazing form. What can Thibaut Collet do at this 596 bar? Come on, Thibaut Collet. No, just a sighter. Didn't quite believe it. Kind of like the same thing we just saw with Margot Chevrier. A little tester. And this bar is incredibly high. So you need absolutely everything to be going right to clear it. Three athletes left across both these competitions. We've got Margot Chevrier, the winner of the women's pole vault competition, currently attempting 450. And then we've got Kurt Marshall and Thibaut Collet, both attempting 596 over in that men's comp. As I mentioned before, now there's fewer athletes in this competition. They will have more break. Usually they get 1 minute on the runway, whereas Margot will get 5 minutes now because she's the only athlete left in. And Thibaut and Kurt will get 3 minutes each. Looks like we are going to see the second attempt of Margot Chevrier for her 450. She does have the meet record all by herself now at 4:45. Can she improve it by 5 centimetres and clear this 5:50 bar? The bar high is set at 4:50. Can Margot clear this? Her attempt, her clearance at 4:45 was beautiful. Just needs to replicate that again, and that was good enough for a 4:50 clearance. Come on, Margot. This would do her confidence a world of good, and she's... oh no. Sometimes because her takeoff typically is on the low side, when you try a little bit harder, it just exacerbates the problem, and it means that you can't turn the pole over. Crowd are really having a brilliant time here watching this competition. Kurt Marshall up for his second attempt, 5:96. He is currently sitting in second place because he has only cleared 5:80, whereas Thibaut Collet has cleared that 5:88. This is Kurt Marshall's final attempt at this bar because he had a miss at 5:88. That still carries across, so this will technically be his third and final attempt at this bar. And Thibaut Collet will have 2 further attempts. Last attempt for Curtis Marshall of the day. Can he clear this 5:96 bar? He needs to clear this to stay in the competition. Beautiful jump, but not quite good enough. Very, very, very nice jump. I think if he'd have done that attempt on his first attempt, he'd have left himself with a good attempt. Very, very good day at the office for Kurt Marshall. Second place with that 5:80 clearance, and a lot of confidence to be taken away for how good those jumps were, that particular jump at 96. What a beautiful interview there from Curtis Marshall, tributing Thibaut Collet in his hometown, and what a fabulous competition to have in your hometown. and you can really feel the love from the crowd. And that is why he absolutely loves jumping here, because it is his home. This is his second attempt at 5.96. The atmosphere is absolutely buzzing. He will be harnessing that, and that's why these meets are so special versus the stadium meets, is you really can harness that energy from the crowd. And what can Thibaut Collet do on his second attempt at 5.96? Oof. Not a bad attempt. Not a bad attempt. He will have one final attempt. Margot Chevrolet, we can hear her music playing. Can she clear her third and final attempt at 4.50? Come on, Margot Chevrolet, third and final attempt at 4.50. Amazing to have already cleared a season's best of 4.45, but this would be absolutely icing on the cake. Ooh, so close. She knows that's there. She absolutely knows that's there, and that was a brilliant attempt. Great to see her back. There is our winner of the women's competition, and a very worthy winner, Margot Chevrolet. What an absolutely brilliant athlete. Such a troubled time the last couple of years, and to see her back jumping so well, 450 plus, definitely on the cards. That is the result of the women's competition. As we can see there, Margot Chevrolet takes the lead, takes the win with that 4.45. And we have a three-way tie for that second place with Nachi, Courvin and Dordain all clearing 4.35. Brilliant women's competition we had there in the end. We just have this third and final attempt from Thibaut Collet of this 5.96 bar. Just see them recalibrating the bar there for Thibaut. He will have 5 minutes because it is a consecutive jump. He has already got this competition won with that clearance of 5.88, but he will want to clear this. I think this competition is going to become established as one of the ones people want to do. It's clearly a great place to jump. Good box, good track, good weather. Really well run competition, very smooth. That's always a factor for athletes, choosing which competition to do. How stressful is it to do the competition? And it seems like the officials and everyone involved in this competition has done as best they can to provide an opportunity for these athletes to jump high, and that is brilliant to see. Thibaut is on the runway now and getting ready for his third and final attempt. He has had such a brilliant day so far. Came in at 5.16, cleared first time. Then passed to 5.80, cleared first time. Then went on to 5.88, cleared first time. He's conserved as much energy as he's possibly could to give himself a best shot at these high bars of 5.96. And he's put the bar up to 6.01. He's thought, why not? If I'm going to clear 5.96, then I'm probably going to clear 6.01. So he's put it up to 6.01. Brilliant. One attempt at 6.01. Let's see what he can do. The crowd are really going to need to get behind him to will him over this. 6.01. Will he join the 6 metre club with this jump? The crowd are starting with their clap. They know how significant this height is. They know how high 6 metres is. This is clearly a very, very intelligent crowd. They know pole vault. They know Thibaut. They know how important this jump is to him. The bar is at 6.01. Kurt Marshall understands how hard this bar is. Can Thibaut Collet clear this bar and cement himself in the history books? Come on, Thibaut Collet, what can you do at this 6.01 bar? Can he clear it? No, he's obviously changed up a pole. He gave it a go, he changed up a pole, he said, why not? Now is the time. And that is a season's best of 5.88, and what a competition. And he will have learned so much from these attempts at 96 and from using that pole. He's probably never used that pole before ever in his life. He is your winner today with 5.88. So well loved by the crowd. And that is the conclusion of both the men and women's competition. And here we see the result there of Thibaut Collet winning with 5.88, Kurt Marshall in second with 5.80, Christopher Nielsen third with 5.70, and then Mathieu Collet fourth with 5.70. What a brilliant set of results we have there. Brilliant, brilliant competition to watch. Thanking his home crowd, thanking the production of this competition. Thank you so much for joining the coverage, the European Athletics coverage of this amazing competition here in the Alps, the Perche des Alpes. It's been a fabulous competition. We've seen both men and women have great competition. We cannot wait to share the competition with you next year in 2027. Thank you for joining.